大家好，你看。
Hello everyone, look, this is my eldest sister. She's 35 and still not settled down. This is my second sister. She's 33 and also not settled. I'm 30 this year and the three of us sisters are, well, the older and still single unmarried girls in our village. My mom is absolutely worried sick about us. Is there anyone out there willing to marry the three of us? Honestly, our standards aren't high. It doesn't matter if you have money or a car, as long as you're sincere and treat the three of us well, and give us a place to live, that's enough. So, is there anyone willing to marry us? Hurry up and come to our home to propose.
挑战今年把自己
Challenge for this year, get married. I was born in 95. This year I turned 30, unmarried, childless, an older leftover woman who isn't particularly high quality. No car, no house, no job, no degree, no savings. Over 4 months of the year have already passed. Do you think I still have a chance to successfully challenge myself and get married this year?
宝们，我以前一直觉得能
Babes, I used to think finding someone you actually want to kiss was a basic requirement, but now I realize it's actually a high standard. Seriously, have you noticed? Other things can be compromised on, but kissing? No way. So now, whether you're dating or getting married, the hardest part is finding someone you genuinely want to kiss. Do you really think you can kiss just anyone? Do you think you can force yourself to kiss anyone? How many sisters have met someone who treats them well, is generous, and has great qualities? But the one thing missing is that they just can't bring themselves to kiss them. You might think you can tough it out, wrestle with your feelings for a long time, but in the end you just can't do it. So many sisters have given up in situations like this. That's why I think finding someone you actually want to kiss is the hardest part nowadays.
这个时代大家都别想找真爱。
In this era, don't even think about finding true love. There really aren't any normal people left. The moment you open any app, it's just naked women, naked curves everywhere. Of course, there are handsome guys too, but no matter how normal someone seems on the outside, everyone's got there. How should I put it? The temptations of this era are just too much. It's not like our parents' generation where once you got married, divorce wasn't even a thought. Even if the sky fell, they wouldn't consider splitting up. So why is the divorce rate so high now? Well, no need to explain. People are just living more awake now. Men and women are indeed becoming more equal because women are earning their own money too. But the bigger problem is that there are fewer and fewer normal people in this era. Normal guys are rare and normal girls are rare too. I'm serious, though I'm not exactly a saint myself. But honestly, this era is full of people who don't take things seriously. A guy could be absolute trash, break up with you today and still find someone else tomorrow, because there'll always be someone throwing themselves at him. Of course, it's the same for girls. You break up today and someone's already lining up tomorrow. It's not good to be so casual. When you really think about it, this world is terrifying and downright awful. Spend more time on yourself, sis. This perspective might not be the most positive, but yeah.
大家好，我是91。
Hello everyone, I'm a single woman born in 1991, and recently many people have been asking me what kind of guy I'm looking for. I think there isn't really a specific standard. First and foremost, I believe there needs to be a mutual attraction. That's the most basic thing. Beyond that, factors like the other person's financial situation, career ability, personality, values, and future plans come into play. Additionally, compatibility is important, whether we can enjoy meals together, have good conversations, and have fun together. So, I think the most efficient way is for both of us to exchange profiles and photos first, then decide whether to take things further. This way, we don't waste each other's time.
87年，38岁。
In 1987, at 38 years old, what you might call a leftover woman, I'm a restaurant owner with a house, car, and savings. My requirements for a man? No need for a car, a house, or a bride price. In fact, I can even offer a reverse bride price to the man. We can skip the wedding banquet when we marry. No need for the 3 golds or 5 golds, and I'll cover the 9 yuan for the marriage certificate. All I ask is that the man has good character, solid values, high emotional intelligence, and high IQ. Family background doesn't matter. If you think this works for you, come to Suzhou to find me. I'll be waiting.
如果不是处男，我就坚决不。
If he's not a virgin, I won't even consider him. These were the exact words of a woman from Ningbo. This woman actually doesn't have many requirements for a partner, just one: the man must be a virgin. She thinks men nowadays are too promiscuous, and there are quite a few who are irresponsible. That's why she insists on a man with no dating history and no prior sexual experience. The woman herself just graduated, is 28 years old, holds a master's degree, is about a 7 or 8 out of 10 in looks, and has a great personality. So I have to ask, are there any men out there who meet these criteria?
如何判断一个
How to tell if a guy is lustful is very simple. Place your finger between his nose and mouth and hold it for a count of 10. If you feel his breath, it means he's lustful. If you don't feel anything, count another 10.
我今年36岁了。
I'm 36 years old, never been married, never had children, and I'm still single to this day. I really want to tell young women out there, if you find a suitable marriage, just go for it. Don't buy into that nonsense like invest in yourself, or if you bloom, butterflies will come. I'm capable of earning my own money and buying my own house. But now, if I want to find a halfway decent man to marry, chances are I'd have to be prepared to raise someone else's kids. It's not that I'm completely unmarriageable, but my options have become extremely limited. My advice to everyone is, if you're going to get married, do it sooner rather than later.
给男孩子们的5个恋爱
Here are 5 relationship tips for boys. First, love doesn't require effort. Before any couple gets together, mutual attraction must already exist from the first glance. That's the only way pursuit succeeds. Second, you don't need to understand women, you need to understand yourself. Know who you are, who you want to become, and who you need. Third, you don't have to be the nice guy. Don't set expectations too high or you'll struggle to meet them later. People naturally expect gradual improvement. If you start at 100 points, they'll only find reasons to deduct points over time. Fourth, don't fall for toxic online advice. No one says you must constantly give in a relationship or while pursuing someone. Sweetheart, if you're always the one giving on dates while the other only takes, they simply don't like you. If a girl likes you even a little, she'll feel bad spending your money. Fifth and most important, if you want a relationship to work, the best approach is to stop expecting an outcome. Enjoy the present moment, let it unfold naturally. It's okay.
如果你一天到晚
If you spend all day thinking about women, then you're done for. If you only care about what's in your pants, then you're also done for. If you think lust is a form of enjoyment, then you're really, truly done for. Starting now, quit pornography, brothers. Coming across this video is a sign that it's time to repent. Don't stay lost in delusion any longer. Only those who can tame their lower instincts can truly take control of their lives.
我现在完全能接受我
I've come to fully accept the idea of being 38 and unmarried, or even never marrying, growing old alone without children. But I just don't know how to spend the rest of my life. Those who have children live for their kids. What should I live for? Should I live for love, for wealth, for seizing the moment, or for comfort? I'm truly lost about how to spend the rest of my days.
大家好，我是91。
Hello everyone, I'm a single woman born in 1991, and I'd like to use the powerful platform of Douyin to find a boyfriend. Let me introduce myself first. I'm from Shaanxi, my height is 1.56 meters, and my weight is 48 kilograms. Currently, I'm unemployed, but before that I worked in the car sales industry. And right now I'm in Beihai, Guangxi, but I haven't settled down yet. As for which city to live in permanently in the future, that's something we can discuss. If anyone wants to know more, feel free to message me privately.
这是一个34岁单
This is the heartfelt confession of a 34-year-old single woman. I've compiled some of her thoughts to share with everyone. The woman says her life feels lost. At 34, working for a state-owned enterprise, she's what people call a leftover woman. To be honest, before turning 30, she never imagined she'd end up in this situation. She always thought her conditions were pretty good, she'd never lacked suitors. But back then, her standards were too high. She was fixated on finding an exceptional guy, so she never seriously dated much. Later, under pressure from her parents, she started going on blind dates. At first, there were a few decent candidates. But she was just too picky. She'd reject them for being too short, for having an unpleasant voice, or for wearing glasses. She always believed someone better would come along, that she'd eventually meet her Prince Charming. But now she's suddenly realized she might really be out of time. Or worse, she might have already missed her chance. Life took a sharp turn after 30. Before 30, men never stopped pursuing her. After 30? They vanished overnight. Occasionally, she'd meet someone nice, but their conditions were only average at best. Before 30, her relatives and friends actively set her up. After 30? The blind dates they arranged became fewer and worse in quality. Some were even divorced. She used to be so confident because in the past it was always others who liked her while she rejected them. Now she somehow ended up in the role of the one being rejected, which makes her feel utterly defeated. Her parents and relatives keep telling her to lower her standards and settle. Every time she hears this, it stings. Just thinking about it makes her feel uncomfortable. She hopes to find someone soon to have a family of her own and maybe even a child.
现在是真挑啊，这个时
Man, people are so picky these days. In this era, men don't fancy women and women don't fancy men either. With so many single men and women around, living in the same country, on the same land, under the same culture, how is it that not even a single spark of love can ignite? Actually, there's a real difference between women being single and men being single. Women are usually single by choice, while most men are single by circumstance. When a man stays single for too long, every woman starts to look like a beauty to him. But when a woman stays single for too long, every man starts to look like a jerk. For women, finding a man is like shopping for clothes. It can't be low quality, too expensive, too cheap, or have any flaws. Even if you give it to her for free, she won't take it. But for men, finding a woman is like smoking. They always want the best, but if they can't get that, a lower quality option will do. And if there's really nothing else? Well, they might even pick up a cigarette but from the ground and take a couple of puffs to get by. When women stay single for a long time, they gain career success, buy a car, own a house, and then they lose interest in men, raising their standards higher and higher. But when men stay single for too long, they drop their standards completely. A divorced woman? Fine. A single mom? No problem. At that point, they're even willing to settle for just a casual fling. Oh man, being a guy is just too hard these days.
婚姻啊，本来就是一场
Marriage, after all, is a form of partnership. There's no need to romanticize it as love. Love fades, shifts, and is never eternal. For men at the bottom of society, marriage is about continuing the family line. For middle-class men, it's about finding a helper. For upper-class men, it's about finding a teammate. As for scoundrels? They're just looking for someone to lift them out of poverty. But what about marriages based on love? Over time, emotions may deepen, responsibilities are shared, and mutual understanding grows, creating a bond where you become part of each other. But if you're a man or woman from the lower or middle class and marry someone from an even lower social stratum, do you really think marriage will improve your life? Let me tell you, you're dead wrong. What follows will always be the endless trivialities of daily life. The struggles of raising children, financial stress, and emotional drain beyond your imagination. It won't elevate you, it will only drag you down. On the contrary, if you invest that time, energy, and youth into self-improvement, you might actually change your fate. Marriage is not a safe harbor nor a relief station. It cannot be your salvation. Even if it feels like redemption at first, one day it may plunge you into an abyss. Only those who are married truly understand what I'm saying. No one will sacrifice endlessly without limits. The resentment and sorrow from overgiving will eventually come back to haunt you. Only two emotionally healthy individuals growing together and showing mutual understanding have any real chance of making a marriage work.
找长得好看的人，其实要
Finding someone who is good-looking is actually much harder than finding someone with good conditions. When people look for a partner, they often have no other requirements except for appearance. But this is actually the most difficult condition. Other traits can be developed over time, but looks are innate and fundamentally unchangeable. When searching for a partner, I suggest prioritizing other qualities first and leaving appearance for last. As long as other conditions are suitable, average looks can usually be reconciled with.
我真的也太可怜了。
I'm really so pitiful. I'm already 28 years old, but I've never been in a relationship. I've never even held hands with a boy, never kissed a boy. I have to work every day, go to my job every day. I'm only 28, but I'm already getting white hairs in the morning. With all this stress every day, I still have to go on blind dates? Will I ever be able to marry someone I like? Will I ever meet someone I love in this lifetime?